From Zero to, written by Gardinski. Narrated by Microsoft Azure. From Zero to Negotiator. The self-taught pro's roadmap to mastering the art of the deal, winning high-stakes conversations, and never leaving money on the table again. Written by Gardinski. Introduction. The myth of the hardball negotiator. You hear the word negotiation, and a specific and often unpleasant image comes to mind. You picture two adversaries sitting across a boardroom table in a tense, high-stakes battle of wills. It's a zero-sum game, a war of attrition where one person will win and the other will lose. You imagine the hardball negotiator, the aggressive, intimidating, and often manipulative player who uses psychological tricks and brute force to get what they want. You see this image, and you think to yourself, that's not me. I hate conflict. I'm just not a good negotiator. You've been sold a myth that great negotiation is about being aggressive, about being a shark. You believe it's a personality trait, a gift for adversarial combat that you simply don't possess. So, in the most important moments of your life, when you're accepting a new job, buying a car, or pitching a new client, you avoid the negotiation altogether. You accept the first offer. You leave a massive amount of money and opportunity on the table. This is a complete and total lie. Great modern negotiation is not about being a shark. It is about being an architect. It is not a battle of wills. It is a collaborative problem-solving process. A great negotiator is not an adversary. They're a master communicator who can architect a win-win deal where both sides walk away feeling satisfied. Welcome to From Zero to Negotiator. This is not a book of manipulative tricks or aggressive hardball tactics. This is a practical, step-by-step roadmap for becoming a confident, effective, and highly successful negotiator. Even if you are an introvert who hates conflict, we will treat negotiation not as a battle, but as an architectural project. First, we will demolish the myth of the hardball negotiator and install the powerful problem-solver mindset. We will give you the core, unbreakable laws that govern all successful deal-making. Next, we will give you the tactical, hands-on playbooks for the entire negotiation life cycle, from the preparation and the discovery phase of understanding the other side to the bargaining phase of architecting the final deal. Finally, we will show you how to apply these skills to the most important negotiations of your life, from your salary to your freelance rates. It's time to stop leaving money on the table. Your empathy and your ability to think systematically are your greatest assets. The system is learnable. The path begins now. Part I. The foundation. The architecture of a great deal case. File 01. The architect's mindset. You are not an adversary. You are a problem solver. Before you learn your first tactic, we must perform the most critical and most profitable identity shift of this entire roadmap. The number one reason that most people are terrible at and terrified of negotiation is that they're operating with the wrong identity. They are an adversary. An adversary sees a negotiation as a battle. It is a me versus you, zero-sum game. Their goal is to win by taking as much as they possibly can from the other side. They enter the conversation with their armor on and their weapons drawn, prepared for conflict. This mindset is the source of all the stress, anxiety, and unpleasantness associated with negotiation. You are not here to be an adversary. You are here to be an architect of solutions. You are a problem solver. This is a non-negotiable and game-changing distinction that an architect sees a negotiation not as a battle, but as a collaborative puzzle. There are two smart, reasonable people on the same side of the table, and their shared goal is to work together to find an elegant, creative solution to a mutual problem. Their mindset is not me versus you. It is us versus the problem. This is a shift from a fixed pie mindset to a grow the pie mindset. The adversary believes there is a fixed, limited amount of value on the table, and their job is to get the biggest possible slice. The architect believes that by working together, they can often find creative ways to make the entire pie bigger, so that both sides can walk away with a larger slice than they originally thought possible. The adversary asks, how can I get what I want? The architect asks, what is the other side's underlying problem? What do they truly need? And how can I craft a proposal that solves their problem while also solving my own? When you adopt the problem solver mindset, the entire experience of negotiation is transformed. The fear and anxiety disappear, replaced by a sense of curiosity and creativity. The conversation is no longer a stressful conflict. It is an engaging, intellectual challenge. As you work through this roadmap, this new identity must be your North Star. Your empathy is not a weakness. It is your greatest tool for discovery. Your ability to listen is not a sign of passivity. It is your primary weapon for gathering intelligence. You are not a shark trying to win a fight. You are an architect trying to build a bridge. Case File 02, the BATNA Blueprint, the unbreakable law of knowing when to walk away. You are about to enter a negotiation. The amateur, in this moment, makes a critical and often fatal strategic error. They have not defined their walkaway point. They are so emotionally invested in getting the deal done that they have no clear, predefined line in the sand. The architect of the deal knows a profound and unbreakable law. The power in any negotiation belongs to the person who is most willing to walk away from the table. Your power does not come from your brilliant arguments or your clever tactics. It comes from having a strong, clear, and attractive alternative. This is the concept of the BATNA. It stands for the best alternative to a negotiated agreement. Your BATNA is not your bottom line. It is your plan B. It is the real, tangible, and best course of action you will take if you cannot reach a deal in the current negotiation. The BATNA Blueprint, Step 1, the pre-negotiation mandate. The rule: you will never, ever enter a high-stakes negotiation without first having clearly and explicitly defined your BATNA. The rationale: knowing your BATNA is the source of your confidence. It is your ultimate safety net. It transforms the negotiation from a high-stakes, must-win situation into a simple, let's see if we can do better than my excellent plan B conversation. Step 2, the brainstorming protocol. The action: before you negotiate, you will take out a piece of paper and brainstorm a list of all your possible alternatives if this deal falls through. Example: salary negotiation. Alternative 1, stay at my current job. Alternative 2, pursue the other job offer I have from Company B. Alternative 3, start my own freelance business. Step 3, the strengthening protocol. The action: you will now look at your list of alternatives and you will ask yourself, what is the one thing I can do before I enter the negotiation to make my best alternative even stronger? Example: salary negotiation. Your best alternative is the offer from Company B. Before you negotiate with Company A, you will call the hiring manager at Company B and get a firm, written offer from them. The result: you have just dramatically strengthened your BATNA. Step 4, the walkaway point. The definition: your walkaway point is the single, clear offer from Company A that is worse than your now strengthened BATNA. The mandate: you will write this number down. This is your line in the sand. If Company A cannot meet or exceed this number, you will, with calm, professional confidence, thank them for their time and walk away. Your BATNA is the source of all of your power. A strong BATNA allows you to negotiate from a position of relaxed confidence, not desperate need. It is the ultimate antidote to the fear of hearing no, because you know that you already have a great yes waiting for you. Case File 03, the anchoring principle. The psychological power of making the first offer. The negotiation is about to begin. The conversation has turned to the most critical number: the price, the salary, the deadline. A critical, strategic moment has arrived. Who should make the first offer? The amateur negotiator, crippled by fear and uncertainty, almost always makes the same mistake. They are afraid to go first, so they wait. The architect of the deal knows that, in most situations, there is an immense psychological and strategic advantage to be gained by making the first, aggressive, and well-researched offer. This is the power of anchoring. The anchoring blueprint. Anchoring is a powerful cognitive bias. The first number that is introduced into a negotiation, no matter how arbitrary, becomes the powerful, subconscious anchor that pulls the entire rest of the conversation toward it. The scientific proof. In one famous study, real estate agents were asked to estimate the value of a house. They were all given the exact same information, with one difference. Half were given an artificially high list price, and the other half an artificially low one. The result? The agents who saw the high anchor price consistently valued the house at a much higher price than the agents who saw the low anchor. The first number they saw became their reality. The aggressive and justified first offer protocol. Rule 1. You must do your research. The mandate. The first offer strategy is only effective if your anchor is ambitious but defensible. It must be based on objective, data-driven research. Rule 2. The range technique. The architecture. You will often not state a single, precise number. You will state a range. The psychology. The low end of your range should be the number you actually want. The high end of your range is your ambitious anchor. The script, salary negotiation. Based on my research of the market rates for this role with my level of experience, I was looking for a compensation package in the $115,000 to $125,000 range. The result, you have now anchored the negotiation at $125,000. Their brain is now focused on that high number. When should you not go first? There is one, and only one, situation where you should let the other side go first. When you have no idea what the appropriate range is. In this one, rare case of total ignorance, you will politely deflect. But in 99% of all business negotiations, the architect who has done their homework and has the confidence to make the first, ambitious, and well-justified offer will be the one who controls the frame of the conversation. Case File 04. The Preparation Protocol. The 15-minute system for walking into any negotiation with confidence. You are about to walk into a high-stakes negotiation. The amateur negotiator walks into this meeting with a jumbled, emotional state. They are unprepared, and they are setting themselves up to be reactive, not proactive. The architect of the deal knows that 90% of the work in any negotiation is done before you ever walk into the room. A successful outcome is not the result of brilliant, in-the-moment improvisation. It is the result of calm, systematic, and thorough preparation. You will not wing it. Before any significant negotiation, you will perform a simple, powerful 15-minute preparation protocol. The one-page negotiation blueprint. You will take out a single sheet of paper. You will deconstruct the upcoming negotiation into its 4 core architectural components. Component 1. The goal, what do I want? The action. You will write down your ideal, best-case scenario outcome, but you will also write down your walkaway point. The architecture, my target price/salary, and my walkaway point. The rationale, this defines your zone of potential agreement. Component 2, the other side, what do they want? The action, you will now perform a mini empathy map. The architectural questions, what is their primary goal? What are their biggest pains or constraints? What is their likely BATNA? Component 3, the leverage, what are my strengths? The action, you will now list your key points of leverage. The architecture, my BATNA, my value proposition, my justification for my first offer. Component 4, the trade-ables, what can I give? The action, the best negotiations are not just about the price. You will brainstorm a list of non-monetary currencies that might be valuable to the other side. The architectural brainstorm, timing, scope, payment terms, future business. The rationale, these are your trading chips. When the other side pushes you on price, you will not just lower your price. You will use the never discount, only trade mandate, and you will offer one of these valuable non-monetary concessions in exchange for them meeting your price. That'll be why completing this simple 15-minute, one-page blueprint, you have just transformed your entire posture. You're no longer walking into an uncertain, anxiety-inducing conversation. You're walking into a well-defined strategic game, and you have a clear architectural plan for how you're going to play it. Part 2, the Discovery Protocol, Finding the Hidden Value Case, File 05, the Question Engine. How to use strategic questions to uncover the other side's true motivations. The negotiation has begun. The amateur negotiator, at this stage, makes a critical, ego-driven mistake. They start talking. They start pitching. They start making their case. They start trying to persuade. They are broadcasting. The architect of the deal knows that the first phase of any negotiation is not about talking. It is about listening. It is an intelligence-gathering mission. Your goal is not to win the first few minutes. Your goal is to learn. The person who has the most information will almost always get the better deal. And the only way to get information is to ask great, strategic, open-ended questions. The information gathering blueprint. Your questions are your primary diagnostic tool. They're the scalpels you will use to gently cut through the other side's stated position to uncover their underlying interests. The what and why questions that drill down. The goal, to move beyond the surface-level details and to understand the why behind their position. The tell me more protocol. Them, we need this project completed by October 1st. You, that's helpful to know. Help me understand what's important about October 1st. What happens on that date? The rationale. Their answer to this simple why question is a goldmine of information. The magic wand question, uncovering hidden desires. The goal, to get them to articulate their ideal, best-case scenario outcome. The script, putting aside the current constraints for a moment, if you could wave a magic wand and design the perfect solution here, what would that look like for you? The fear question, uncovering hidden risks. The goal, to understand their biggest fears and anxieties related to the deal. The script, what is the biggest risk for you in this project? What is the one thing you're most concerned about going wrong? The rationale, if you can understand their primary fear, you can then position your solution as the antidote to that fear. The silent question, the power of the pause. The goal, to encourage the other side to reveal more information. The technique, after you ask a great, open-ended question, and after they have given you their initial answer, you will not immediately speak. You will simply pause for a few uncomfortable seconds. The psychology, this silence is a vacuum, and the human brain is hardwired to want to fill it. 9 times out of 10, the other person will start talking again, and they will give you the real, unscripted, and most valuable information that be why architecting the first phase of a negotiation around this systematic, question-driven discovery process. You're arming yourself with the crucial information that will allow you to craft the perfect, irresistible proposal. Case File 06, the active listening mandate. The art of hearing what isn't being said. You are asking brilliant, open-ended questions. The other side is talking. This is a critical moment. The amateur negotiator, at this stage, makes a common and invisible mistake. They are not actually listening. They're simply waiting for their turn to talk. They hear the words, but they miss the meaning. The architect of the deal knows that strategic questioning is useless without active listening. Active listening is not a passive act of hearing. It is a full-body, fully engaged, and highly disciplined act of understanding. Your goal is not just to hear what they are saying. It is to understand what they are feeling, what they are implying, and what they are not saying. The active listening blueprint, the paraphrase and summarize technique. The goal, to prove to the other side that you have understood their message. The script, after the other person has finished making a key point, you will first summarize their point back to them, in your own words. Okay, so if I'm understanding you correctly, what you're saying is that the deadline is the single most important factor for you, even more so than the total cost. Is that right? The rationale. This makes the other person feel deeply heard and validated. The labeling technique, the emotion detector. The goal, to listen not just for the factual content, but for the underlying emotion. The script, you will gently label the emotion that you are hearing in their voice. It sounds like you're feeling a lot of anxiety about this launch date. The psychology, this is an advanced empathy technique. When you correctly label a person's emotion, it creates a powerful, subconscious bond. The nonverbal signals. The goal, to show that you are 100% engaged, even when you are not speaking. The architecture, the nod, the lean, the note-taking. These are powerful, visual signals that you believe what they are saying is important. The one-question follow-up. The goal, to go one level deeper. The script, after you have paraphrased their point, you will ask one simple, clarifying follow-up question. So that's why the October 1st deadline is a hard requirement. You paraphrase. Okay, so the October 1st deadline is a hard requirement because that's the date of the big conference. You, the one question, tell me more about that. what specifically needs to be ready for the conference. By architecting your listening with these simple techniques, you are building immense trust and rapport. You are transforming a tense negotiation into a collaborative dialogue. You're making the other person want to do a deal with you. Case File 07, the Value Audit, a system for identifying non-monetary currencies to trade you, are in the discovery phase. You are listening. The amateur negotiator is listening for one thing and one thing only: the price. They believe the entire negotiation is a battle over a single monetary variable. The architect of the deal knows a profound secret. Price is only one of a dozen different currencies on the table. A great negotiation is not a single-issue haggle. It is a multivariable, creative problem-solving exercise. Your job is to perform a value audit, hunting for all the other non-monetary things that your counterpart values. The value audit blueprint. As you're listening, you'll be listening for clues about these other hidden currencies. The 6 hidden currencies: time and speed. The clue: the other side is constantly talking about a hard deadline. The currency: for them, speed is more valuable than money. The trade: you can offer to deliver the project 2 weeks early in exchange for them meeting your price. Risk and certainty. The clue: the other side seems nervous. They are asking a lot of what-if questions. The currency: they're not just buying your service, they're buying peace of mind. The trade: you can offer a more robust guarantee or more frequent project updates. Flexibility in terms. The clue: they're a large, bureaucratic organization and mention their legal or finance department is slow. The currency: favorable terms are valuable. The trade: you can offer to use their standard contract or offer more flexible payment terms. Ego and recognition. The clue: the person you're negotiating with seems focused on how this project will make them look to their own boss. The currency: they're buying a career win. The trade: you can offer to co-author a case study with them after the project is a success. Future business. The clue: they mention this is a pilot project and that if it goes well, there are larger projects in the pipeline. The currency: the promise of future business. The trade: you can offer a small discount on this project in exchange for a signed commitment for the next one. Convenience and ease. The clue: the person is clearly overwhelmed, overworked, and stressed. The currency: they're buying less stress. The trade: you can offer a more all-inclusive package that requires almost zero work on their part. Why performing this value audit, you are deconstructing the negotiation. You are moving it from a single-issue battle over price into a multivariable, creative puzzle. Case File 08, the Rapport Blueprint. A simple system for building trust before you talk numbers. You are in the discovery phase. You are asking brilliant questions, you are listening with architectural precision, and you are uncovering a goldmine of information. But there's one final, invisible layer to this phase. It is the layer of rapport. Rapport is the feeling of being in sync with another person. It is a sense of mutual liking, trust, and understanding. The amateur negotiator, focused purely on the transactional details, often ignores this crucial human element. The architect of the deal knows that a negotiation built on a foundation of genuine human rapport is far more likely to result in a win-win outcome. The Rapport Blueprint. Building rapport is not about being fake. It is about a few simple and authentic behaviors that signal respect and create a sense of connection. The similarity principle. The psychology: we are naturally drawn to people who are like us. The pre-call research: spend 5 minutes on your counterpart's LinkedIn profile. You are looking for a point of genuine, shared connection. Did you go to the same university? Do you share a common hobby? The opener: use this as a simple, authentic icebreaker at the very beginning of your call. The mirroring technique. The psychology: subtly and naturally mirroring another person's body language, speech patterns, and energy level creates a powerful, subconscious feeling of being in sync. The architecture. Pacing: if they're a fast talker, slightly increase your own pace. If they're slow and deliberate, slow your own pace down. Language: pay attention to the specific words they use and subtly incorporate some of this language into your own speech. The name mandate. The psychology: A person's name is the sweetest sound to them. Using a person's name a few times in a conversation is a powerful signal of respect and recognition. The vulnerability switch. The psychology. Rapport is a two-way street. By sharing a small, appropriate, and slightly vulnerable piece of information about yourself, you give the other person permission to do the same. The technique. You can use a small, self-deprecating story to build a connection. I completely understand the anxiety around that. I remember the first time I had to make a big investment in my own business. I didn't sleep for a week. By the end of the discovery phase, you will have done more than just gather information. You will have transformed a transactional negotiation into a collaborative, human-to-human problem-solving session. You will have built the relational foundation upon which a great deal can be architected. Part 3. The Bargaining Protocol. Architecting the Win-Win Case, File 09. The Value First Pitch. How to frame your offer around their problem. The discovery phase is complete. You have asked your questions. You have listened with architectural precision. You have a deep, empathetic understanding of the other side's true needs, their hidden fears, and their most desired outcomes. Now, it is time to make your offer. This is the moment where the entire negotiation pivots. The amateur negotiator, at this point, makes a critical, self-focused mistake. They present their offer in terms of what they are selling. Okay, so what I'm offering you is my gold package. The architect of the deal knows that the other side does not care about your package or your product. They care about their problem. Your offer must not be a presentation of your solution. It must be a direct, clear, and compelling prescription for their pain. The prescription blueprint. You will frame your offer using the exact information you gathered in the discovery phase. You will be a doctor, reading your diagnosis back to the patient, and then prescribing the cure. The three-part value frame, the restatement of the problem, the diagnosis. The goal. To begin your pitch by proving you have been listening intently. You will summarize their problem back to them in their own words. The script. Okay, thank you for sharing all of that. Just to make sure I have it right. It sounds like the single biggest challenge you're facing right now is their number one pain point, and the impact of that is the negative consequence. And your ideal outcome is to achieve their desired after state. Is that a fair summary? The psychology, you have just forced them to say yes and to relive the pain of their problem one last time. The bridge, the prescription. The goal, to position your offer as the specific bridge that will take them from their painful before state to their desired after state. The script, great. In that case, based on everything we've discussed, I am very confident that the solution I've designed is a perfect fit to get you that exact result. Here is what I propose, the outcome first offer. You will now present the details of your offer, but you will lead with the outcome, not the feature. The amateur's pitch. My proposal is that I will write a 5-part email sequence for you. The architect's pitch. My proposal is a lead nurturing system that is designed to solve your problem of having promising leads go cold. The way we'll do that is by architecting a 5-part email sequence. The you mandate. Your proposal will be filled with the word you, not I or we. This will give you a predictable system for. This means you will no longer have to worry about. By architecting your offer with this value-first blueprint, you are not just making a proposal. You are demonstrating that you are a true, empathetic, and collaborative problem solver. You are selling a transformation. Case File 10. The never discount, only trade mandate. The unbreakable law of protecting your value. You have presented your masterful, value-first proposal. The prospect is impressed. They see the value. But as a smart business person, they make a predictable move. They ask for a better price. This is perfect, but the price is a bit higher than we budgeted. Can you do anything to bring that number down? This is the moment that separates the amateur from the professional. The amateur negotiator, terrified of losing the deal, immediately caves. They say, okay, how about 10% off? They have just made a unilateral concession. The architect of the deal never, ever gives a unilateral concession. They operate under the single most important and unbreakable law of bargaining. You will never discount your price. You will only trade. The give-to-get blueprint, a trade, is a professional negotiation. A discount is a surrender. If the client wants you to concede on a point that is important to them, price, you must, in return, ask them to concede on a point that is important to you. The price negotiation protocol. The prospect, your $10,000 proposal is great, but we only have a budget of $8,000. Step 1. The empathy and re-anchor. Your script. I completely understand the need to stick to a budget. Step 2. The trade offer, the scope lever. You will now offer them a way to get to their price by changing the scope of the project. Your script. I can definitely work with you to get this project to an $8,000 investment. To do that, we could either remove the email marketing component, or we could reduce the number of design mockups from 3 to 1. Which of those two options would be a better fit for you? The psychology. You have not said no. You have reframed the conversation from a price haggle to a collaborative discussion about priorities. The value-add trade. An alternative, if you do not want to reduce the scope, you could trade for a non-monetary currency that is valuable to you. The script. I understand. I am willing to meet that price, but to make it work, I would need a concession in return. If you would be willing to pay 100% of the project fee up front instead of the standard 50-50, then I can make the $8,000 price work. The rationale. You have traded their price concession for a valuable cash flow concession for your own business. That be why adhering to this unbreakable law of never discount, only trade. You are sending a powerful psychological signal to your client. You are communicating that you are a serious professional and that your prices are a direct reflection of the immense value you provide. Case File 11. The flattery reframe. A playbook for turning an aggressive tactic into a collaborative discussion. You will, at some point, encounter a truly aggressive negotiator. They will use a hardball tactic. They will try to intimidate you, to belittle your offer, or to make an extreme, lowball offer. The aggressive negotiator. Your price is ridiculous. I just got a quote from your competitor for half of that. The amateur, in this moment, is thrown completely off balance. They either get defensive or get scared and immediately offer a massive discount. The architect of the deal does not get defensive, and they do not get scared. They have a pre-planned protocol for disarming an aggressive tactic. They will use a powerful psychological jujitsu move that reframes the attack as a compliment. The label and reframe blueprint. Step 1. The pause. The action. After they deliver their aggressive statement, you will not immediately respond. You will pause for a full 2 to 3 seconds and look at them with a calm, curious expression. The rationale. This is a pattern interrupt. Your calm silence is a powerful signal of confidence. Step 2. The label. The action. You will now label their aggressive tactic, but you will do so in a way that reframes it as a sign of their skill as a negotiator. The script. You will smile slightly and say, with genuine respect in your voice, "You are very good at this," or "That is a very savvy negotiating move." The psychology. This is a masterful move. It disarms them and subtly repositions the two of you as two skilled professionals playing a game. Step 3. The pivot back to value. The action. Now that you have disarmed them, you will gently but firmly pivot the conversation away from the price and back to the value. The script. You are clearly a sharp negotiator, which is why I know you understand that in business, you always get what you pay for. My price is based on the significant, measurable ROI that my system will deliver for you. If you have a proposal from another vendor that can deliver the same outcome for a lower price, then you should absolutely take it. But my guess is that they are not proposing the same solution. By architecting this label and reframe protocol, you are demonstrating unshakable poise and confidence. You are gracefully and powerfully reasserting your position as a high-value professional who negotiates based on value, not on pressure. Case File 12. The split the difference trap. Why it's almost always a losing move. You are in the final stages of the bargaining process. You are holding firm at $8,500. They are holding firm at $7,500. At this moment, the other side will propose a seemingly fair, reasonable solution. They will say, "Look, why don't we just split the difference and call it an even $8,000? The amateur negotiator, exhausted by the process, sees this as a lifeline. They immediately agree. The architect of the deal knows that splitting the difference is almost always a trap. It is a clever tactic that feels fair on the surface, but it is a mathematically lazy solution. By immediately agreeing, you're giving up your final piece of leverage for free. The split the difference counter protocol. You will not immediately agree. You will use this final moment to architect one last, small, but significant win for your side. Step 1. The acknowledge and pause. The script. That's a very reasonable suggestion. Let me just think about that for a moment. The rationale. You will now pause. This signals that this is a real, difficult decision for you. Step 2. The final, small ask, the if, then, trade. You will now agree to their proposed number, but you will make your agreement conditional on them giving you one final, small, non-monetary concession. The script. Okay, I think we can make the $8,000 number work. If you can agree to that, then the one last thing I would need from you is to your small, final ask. If you can agree to that, then we have a deal. What is a small, final ask? It should be something from your trade-ables list. A written testimonial from you after the project is successfully completed. Agree to a net 15 payment term instead of net 30. Be willing to act as a reference for 1 or 2 future clients. The psychology of the final move. This is a masterful final move. You have avoided a unilateral concession. You have successfully adhered to the never discount, only trade mandate. You did not just give them the final $500. You traded it for a valuable asset. The recency effect. The last thing that happens in a negotiation is often the most memorable. You have ended the negotiation as a sharp, professional architect who is a master of the deal. Part 4. The career engine. From first deal to a lifetime of better outcomes case file 13. The salary negotiation playbook. A step-by-step guide to getting paid what you're worth of all the high-stakes conversations you will have in your professional life. The salary negotiation is the one with the single highest and most long-lasting financial impact. A single, successful, 5-minute conversation can be worth tens of thousands of dollars over the course of your career. And yet, it is the negotiation that most professionals are the most terrified of. The amateur, crippled by the fear of seeming greedy, accepts the first number they are given. They have just made the single most expensive mistake of their life. The architect knows that a salary negotiation is not a confrontation. It is a standard, expected, and professional business discussion. The first offer a company makes is almost never their best offer. The salary negotiation blueprint. Step 1. The no number rule during the interview process. The mandate. You will never, ever be the first person to name a number. When a recruiter asks, "What are your salary expectations?" you will politely deflect. The script. I'm really focused on finding the right fit. I'm confident that if this is the right opportunity, we'll be able to agree on a compensation package that is fair and competitive. Step 2. The preparation protocol. The research. You will use sites like Glassdoor and Levels.fyi to do a deep, data-driven analysis of the market rate for your role. The BATNA. If possible, you'll be interviewing with more than one company at a time. A competing offer is the single most powerful BATNA you can have. Step 3. The verbal offer moment. The action. The hiring manager will call you to extend the verbal offer. The unbreakable rule. You will not accept the offer on the spot. The enthusiasm and pause script. 1. Express genuine enthusiasm. That's fantastic news. Thank you so much. 2. The pause. This is a big decision for me, and I'd like to take a day or two to review the full written offer. Would it be possible for you to send that over? Step 4. The counteroffer call. After you have received the written offer, you will schedule a follow-up call. The anchor high script. 1. Restate enthusiasm. 2. The value-first justification. Based on my understanding of the responsibilities and the market research I've done, I was anticipating a base salary in the range of your ambitious researched range. 3. The collaborative close. Is there any flexibility on the initial base salary? The golden rule. After you ask this question, you will be silent. Step 5. The total compensation trade. The scenario. The company comes back and says, "We can't move on the base salary." The trade move. I understand. Given that the base salary is firm, would you be open to discussing a one-time sign-on bonus? Other trade-ables, more vacation days, a higher performance bonus, a budget for professional development. By architecting your salary negotiation with this professional, data-driven approach, you are not just an applicant. You are a high-value professional, confidently negotiating the terms of a mutually beneficial business partnership. Case File 14. The Client Negotiation. A system for landing high-value freelance projects. You are a freelancer. You are the CEO of You Incorporated. Every single interaction with a potential client is a high-stakes negotiation. Your ability to confidently navigate this conversation will be the single biggest determinant of your annual income. The amateur freelancer, desperate for the work, operates from a position of fear. They let the client dictate the entire process. They are an order taker. The architect of a freelance business knows that the very first conversation with a client is where you establish your positioning. You are not a subordinate. You are a strategic partner. The consultative negotiation blueprint. Step 1. The discovery call. The mandate. You will never, ever talk about price or solutions on the first call. The first call is a discovery call. The mindset. You are the doctor. Your only job on this call is to diagnose their pain. Step 2. The proposal. The mandate. After the discovery call, you will end with a clear next step. My next step will be to architect a formal, written proposal for you. I'll send that over in the next 48 hours. The architecture. Your proposal will use the value-first framework. It will present your 3-tiered package solutions as the perfect prescription for that pain. Step 3. The proposal review call. The mandate. You will not just email the proposal. You will schedule a second call to present it. The rationale. This allows you to walk them through your thinking and handle their objections in a real-time conversation. The price conversation. This is where the price negotiation will happen. You will use your never discount, only trade mandate. Step 4. The contract. The mandate. You will never, ever begin work without a signed agreement. The statement of work. SOW, your contract, is the final architectural blueprint for the project. It will clearly define the scope, the timeline, the price and payment terms, and the revisions clause. Why architecting this professional, multi-step sales process, you are establishing a powerful, high-value frame for every single client relationship. You are proving you are a serious, strategic business partner. Case File 15. The Everyday Negotiation. How to use these skills to buy a car, lower your bills, and more. You have now mastered the architecture of high-stakes, professional negotiation. But the truth is, you are negotiating every single day of your life, whether you realize it or not. The amateur is a passive participant in these everyday negotiations. They accept the sticker price as a non-negotiable fact. The architect knows that almost everything in life is negotiable. They understand that the same principles of preparation, understanding the other side, and making a confident ask can save thousands of dollars a year. The everyday negotiation blueprint. The scenario. Buying a used car. The amateur's approach. Walks onto the lot unprepared and negotiates based on the monthly payment. The architect's approach. 1. Preparation. You will use a site like Kelley Blue Book to find the exact, fair market value of the car. 2. The BATNA. You will have identified 2 to 3 other similar cars for sale in your area. 3. The anchor low first offer. The dealer's sticker price is their anchor high. You will make the first ambitious anchor low offer based on your research. 4. The trade-ables. You will be prepared to trade on other variables, like new tires or a better financing rate. The scenario. Lowering your monthly bills. The amateur's approach. Grudgingly pays the bill, even after their promotional rate has expired. The architect's approach. 1. Preparation. You will spend 10 minutes on the company's website, looking at their deals for new customers. 2. The BATNA. You will look at the prices offered by their direct competitors. 3. The retention department script. You will call the company and politely but firmly say, "I would like to speak to your customer retention department, please." 4. The polite but firm ask. "Hi, I've been a loyal customer for 5 years. I can see that you are offering a much better rate to new customers and that your competitor is offering a similar service for $30 less per month. I would like to stay with you, but I need you to give me a better rate. This is a simple but profound mindset shift. By applying these simple principles, you're unlocking a new level of agency and control over your own life. Conclusion. You are the architect of the deal. You began this roadmap with a myth, the myth of the hardball negotiator, the belief that negotiation was a confrontational battle reserved for the aggressive and the extroverted. That myth has now been fully deconstructed and replaced with an engineered reality. You now know that great negotiation is not about being an adversary. It is about being a problem solver. It is not an act of aggression. It is an act of architecture. You are not a shark. You are the architect of the deal. You have deconstructed the unbreakable laws that govern all successful deal-making, from the power of your BATNA to the psychology of the first anchor. You have filled your toolkit with the most valuable and in-demand skills in the business world. The ability to ask brilliant questions, to listen with precision, and to build the deep human rapport that is the foundation of all win-win outcomes. Most importantly, you have moved beyond theory. You have the specific tactical playbooks for the highest stakes negotiations of your life, from getting paid what you're worth in a salary negotiation to confidently pricing your services and landing your first high-value client. You do not just have an aversion to conflict. You have a complete system for transforming any negotiation into a collaborative, creative, and profitable partnership. The path from here is one of practice. It is the courage to make the first offer, to ask the difficult question, and to have the confidence to walk away from a bad deal. Your empathy, your listening skills, and your ability to think systematically are not weaknesses. They're your superpowers. You are no longer a passive participant in the deals that shape your life. You're an architect of them. You possess the skill to take a situation of potential conflict and to engineer a solution of mutual, collaborative value. You're the architect of the deal. Now go build. You have been listening to From Zero to Negotiator, the self-taught pro's roadmap to mastering the art of the deal, winning high-stakes conversations, and never leaving money on the table again. Written by Gardinski. Narrated by Microsoft Azure. Production copyright 2025 by Gardinski. Did this roadmap help you? Your journey is just beginning, but your feedback is crucial. If this book provided you with real-world value, the single best way to support this mission is to leave an honest review on Amazon. More by Gardinski. Your roadmap continues. You can now master the art of the deal. The next step is to apply that power to high-stakes sales conversations. Book recommendations include From Zero to Closer and From Zero to Salesperson.